Today I'm going to introduce to you my drone. This is the future. So guys, I'm going to show you the HoverAir X1 drone. The size is just as big as my palm. It only weighs 125 gram weight. And I can tell you, this is the ultimate drone for cyclists. Man, honestly speaking, there are many things on the world of internet that I always do research on to try to introduce you products that I feel can help you in your cycling journey, because I only review things that I like, things that I think I will use. And this HoverAir X1 by 00 Robotics retails right now, it's going on sale now at $399 US. I'm going to give you the affiliate link down at the description below. Click on it and support me by buying through this link, because by buying through this link, then at least Hover team will know that, oh, okay, Melvin's doing his work. And that supports me a lot, so that future I can get more products like this to demo it to all of you. So the HoverAir X1 has been a drone that I've been really wanted to get my hands on, and thank you to the team 00 for sending me this. So one thing I want to say is this is not only a drone, this is a robot. Right now, if you get this at $399 US, it comes with the bundle pack, which comes with the extra battery, which I highly recommend you to get the extra battery. This battery is going at is a 1050 milliampere battery. It's pretty small, very light, and also at $399 it comes with a USB Type-C docking for the battery charger to charge 2 batteries at one time. This Hover team Hover sent me this for free for me to review and for me to show it to all of you. I honestly will buy another battery. Okay, so now I'm going to run through to you what do you get when you buy this drone. But in an unboxing, it just comes with a little pouch that fits your drone, fits the Hover drone, and also a Type A to Type C USB for you to charge. It comes with triple image stabilization on the camera, including the gimbal, so the shots are very steady. You see here, when I was cycling, when I'm actually testing the product right now, so far so good. I find the gimbal is very stable. It only shoots at 27K at 30 frames per second, or 1080p up to 60 frames per second. And right now on this drone, I am actually shooting most of my shots at 1080p 60 frames per second, which I feel it's very good. 60 frames per second because I want to sometimes slow it down just in case to add that smooth shot. Right now this drone, I will tell you one thing why I love this drone is because I've been wanting to use a drone when I'm out cycling for years, but I've never got my hand into it, mainly because I always feel that drone is always so bulky, so cumbersome, and I feel that for my style of cycling in groups, right, the biggest problem I have is because I'm in a group, I don't want my group to wait for me or take too much time for me to set up to get the shot. So what I usually do is I need a drone that I can just take it out from my pocket and snap and shoot and fly and call it a day. Drones in the past needs a remote, needs the drone, and the drone is very bulky. So I have been avoiding buying drone for almost 4 years, let's put it, 4 years. And then when I saw Hover was launched, I was like, man, Team Hover sent me this unit, I want to test it out. And since they sent it to me 2 weeks ago, I love it, absolutely love it. There are some limitations to this drone, which I'll tell you later, but I'll tell you the pros and cons later. But what I'm going to say is, whatever it is, this is the drone that I can actually use for cycling. Why? Because it's small. And because it is, if your back pocket can fit your phone, you will be able to fit the drone, okay? I want to talk about some of the key features of this drone, about the drone itself. It comes with this gimbal camera like I mentioned just now. It comes with, of course, 4 propellers. It's cage protected, very safe. If it hits anyone, it's not going to get any kid crying. Just be careful of your little fingers. It might go through, but of course I see that only happening to children. So be careful because this drone takes off and lands at your finger. So if you want kids to play, just be wary about it lah. And then it comes with a sensor at the below to look at the floor. So this, the belly, the sensor and the camera here will detect the distance between floor and the drone. Hover names says it all. It hovers by itself. You really do not need to control it though. Even if you want to control this drone, you can still use the manual mode on your phone, which honestly speaking, I don't use it. It has the option, but I don't use it because at the end of the day, the use case for this is the beauty of it having all the functions here. Okay, let me show you all the functions here. Turning it on is as simple as holding it for 2 seconds, and then when the light here turn green, it's going to turn on and you'll see the battery full charge and it will light up all the modes here.
Current mode, hover, zoom out, follow, orbit, bird eye, custom.
So this is all you need. As simple as turning it on, setting the mode that you want.
Hover.
I'll set it as hover right now and show you. Just have to press the button and it will float.
Continue, hover.
That's it. See, it's gonna follow wherever I go. How cool is that? How cool is that? I mean, I'm telling you, this is the future. How they have mixed robotics into a drone this small blows my mind. This is the best drone ever for cyclists because it's so small. And to land it, that's it. Oh my goodness. This is the future. It was pretty windy just now, probably about 15 km/h wind. Okay, but here are the things that I want to tell you about this drone. If you are cycling with this drone can track you, but the speed of this drone can go up to 20 to 25 km/h depending on the wind condition. So if you're gonna use this to track you or follow you from behind, don't cycle more than 25 km/h. I normally tend to maintain around 23, 20, around that. Because the drone can't fly that fast. Again, it is not a limitation. I foresee it's more to safety, mainly because this drone is AI driven. There are no human controlling it. So you have to be very careful when you're flying this drone. It is not you are the pilot. It is the pilot itself, so you have to be a bit careful. So bear in mind when you're flying this drone, make sure you're in an open space. I do not recommend it to use this drone in high traffic area when there's cars, because the car might just bang it without you seeing it. And also if you're using this drone when you're cycling or walking, you are so thinking about the drone safety, it's going to be so dangerous for you if you're cycling or using it in heavy traffic. So bear in mind and that lah. And if you're letting children to use, I highly recommend it to be careful because their fingers will go through this little hole here, so be very, very careful. And what else? Yeah, I think that's a safety. Oh, one more thing. I do remember that this drone, the camera, the belly camera where it's detecting between the height and where it is and all those stuff, don't fly it across or over water because it wouldn't know where it is. But I did test this drone where I was standing on an elevated staircase and I let the drone fly away, and as the distance between the floor and the distance between the drone has been increasing, the drone still flew up and came back down safely lah. So if you do want to fly this like over a reasonable cliff, I think should be okay, but be careful. So far I only tested where I was on top of a staircase. It flew up. Between the drone and the floor was probably about 20 meters. That's as far as I tried lah. But bear in mind when you're doing this, make sure that when you're flying this drone across a cliff, just be careful and be mindful that that cliff you can climb down in case the drone does anything happen. Because if anything happened to the drone, it will do a soft, safe landing. It does not come back to you. So bear that in mind.
Collision detected. Please pay attention to the surrounding environment and avoid obstacles.
This battery can probably last you about, I've done about 12 video clips from one battery. So this drone is not a dedicated drone for filming. This drone is meant for you to capture clips of what you need to include in your complete video, which makes it very good for me because I'm not going to do an entire drone shot. I'm only using this to do probably 5 clips to include in my vlogs or in my traveling. So it's good to carry 2 or maybe 3 batteries because I'm definitely going to buy another battery for this. It comes in 32 gig, which is more than enough to store most of your videos. So far, I have stored maybe close to about 50 videos, no problem, clips inside here. I'm sure you can store more, but one thing I like about this drone is whenever you connect this drone to your phone, transferring between drone footage from the drone, which I will show you now, is actually very, very fast. Okay, so first thing you need to do is to turn on the drone. Current mode, hover. Connect to your drone, which I'm going to show you the screen here. So, done. There you go. So all your drone setting can be done here. Click on it and you can see all the function: hover, zoom out, follow, orbit, bird's eye, customs. One thing I like about this drone also is the ability to do vertical shots. See, you can turn it on and off, which I find it very good for if you're using it for Instagram. Make sure you're on the firmware version 7.11. Okay. Then if you go to the album, it's as simple as connecting to the drone with the Wi-Fi, and I can tell you the transferring for this is actually very, very fast. It's the clip that we captured just now, new. Click on it. There's a preview at low res. Then let me download it. Let's see how fast it downloads. Am I downloading it? Let me try again. Okay, it's downloading it. See how fast? So the drone will actually record and stop recording automatically without you needing to do anything with it. And if you are the type that wants to do a manual control, it's doable as well. Just click on manual control. This is how it works. It's connecting to the drone right now. And waiting to take off. Click on this and it will take off.
Manual control.
So, by using the remote, I can go back, front, left, no, left and right. Whoa. Let's go down a bit. Rotate. You can see my room. Can go straight to the camera. And come back. And the gimbal, you can go up and down as well. And land. How do I land? Like that. There you go. And this is not IPX rated. So if you do bring this along with you, remember, I wouldn't recommend this to put in your back pocket. If you do, it'll be good to actually wrap it in a plastic bag and put in your back pocket in case it rains or you sweat. So that's the only thing you need to be careful with this drone. I do wish that Hover does sell the casing that can make it waterproof. Because right now what I'm using is, I actually have this little bag here that is somewhat waterproof. So I can just put the drone inside here with the battery and I zip it in like this. And I actually do have this in my back pocket when I'm cycling. But when it rains, I'm still a bit worried because this is not a 100 ringgit item. This is almost 1,500 ringgit just for the drone, or 1,900 ringgit with all the battery included. If Hover does sell this kind of accessories for waterproof and just fits the drone nicely where we can put in the back pocket, right? I feel that it's perfect because this drone, I can foresee it being used a lot by hikers, by cyclists, by runners, by skaters who want to do drone shots by themselves. This is the ultimate DIY vlogger dream to have, right? To own. Okay. The other thing that I wish Hover had was to have a little button somewhere so I can set between vertical and horizontal shot instead of depending on that phone. If they have it here, perfect way, perfect. Then really I don't need to take out my phone because when I did the Rafa Woman 100 ride, I forgot it was on vertical shot, so all the videos was vertical. Okay, now I'm gonna set the hover under just hovering. So by turning on, it just hovers at the space, then it just drags me. I try to run here, run there. It's pretty responsive, it's not too bad. Actually, I find it very intelligent. I try to work further back as well, and it works. And then this is how it looks like from the camera's perspective. There you go. And you can see the video at 1080p is very stable. It really tracks me very well. And bear in mind, it is actually very bright right now. I did test it in an open space, and the wind right now, I will expect it to be about 5 to 10 kilometers per hour. It's not that windy for now. You can see that it's tracking me, it's trying its best. So it is, yeah. So I'm going back like about 15 meters away and walking back. And so far, so good. And just by extending my hand out, it offs and lands. So right now I'm going to show you the function of zooming out. So basically what I've set it to do is to zoom up pretty far. I think it's close to about 9 meters away. So it'll just fly away and then it'll come back automatically, and let me show you how the footage looks like. You'll actually capture two footage. One footage of it zooming out, and another footage you'll save in a separate file of it zooming in, and this is how it looks like. Oh, and if I did not mention, actually HoverAir X1 actually records the video without audio by default. But later on I'll show you that actually it's able to record audio by using the phone, which I'll show you later lah. But this is how the zoom out and zoom in shows. Okay, so now let's have some fun with the HoverAir X1. Right now I'm going to let it track me. So tracking basically is just going to follow me from behind, and then you can set the function from near, medium or far. I've set mine to medium, so I just walk around. So all I need to do now is to stand. Okay, I'm walking underneath the camera to see that when it tracks me, yeah, it stops tracking me if I walk under the camera because it just lose sight of me. And when it lose sight of me, it'll just fly back down. Oh, there you go, it found me again. So that's gonna follow me again and track me again. And that's about it. Let me show you how the video clip looks like. I can see the wind that's starting to pick up right now, but the stabilization of the camera is still very impressive. And if you look at the video at 1080p, it's not too bad. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to do it to slow-mo because I shot at 60 frames per second so they can see how it looks like. Okay, now the video is being halved the time. I've set it to 30 frames per second at slow-mo. Again, I'm shooting at 1080p, 60 frames per second, and I've set it now to 30 frames per second. And the video looks great, man. Love it. Okay, now we are going at orbit mode where I just put it in front of me and the drone will fly behind at a distance. Again, you can set as medium, far or near, and then it'll just go around, and it just goes around you. Bear in mind, when you're doing orbit, you are not allowed to walk around because it's actually just tracking at that position only. So this is how the video will look like. This orbiting is fun, really, especially if you have a family and stuff and you're at the beach. So orbiting is a bit slow. Again, this is not a very fast drone, but I think for safety reason and because you're depending, there's no pilot actually driving this drone, which is good lah. You know, you don't need it to be too fast. So there you go, one orbit, 360. Can even do 2 rounds. Okay, now we're gonna have a bit of fun. We're gonna go bird eye view, and this time the drone's gonna fly 50 meters up. You can see above the building now, and it's actually going really high. And I tell you, this is actually pretty scary when the first time I did it because I am not a drone pilot, so I'm very not used to having an investment of cash or a camera flying up away from me. So you can see now it's going up so high that I can hardly see it already. So it's up to 15 meters and a bit of rotation. You can set the bird eye view not to rotate or some medium or slow rotation. All these functions can be set, and again it will record going away and coming back, 2 different video clips. So this is how it will look like. Look at how smooth it's rotating up. Wow, nice. So this is the highest as it can go, which is 15 meters. And now it's going to rotate back down. I'm using the very small rotation speed. And there you go. And just come back right down to me. Okay, this is the last function right now I'm going to show you, which is the dolly. And this dolly basically is going to follow you 2 meters away. So as soon as the drone flies up, as you walk towards it, it's going to go away from you lah. And if you walk anywhere else, it's going to, if you rotate your body around the drone, if you rotate around the drone or you orbit around the drone then will start shooting sideways or behind you. But the drone will try its best to track at the particular angle that you can control. So this is a bit challenging and a bit of getting used to making sure that you do not drive your drone into an obstacle. So this is how it will look like. As you can see, as I'm walking towards the drone is trying to maintain 2 meters away from me. I think this is a very nice shot to have if I'm going to do like bike reviews or if I'm like tracking through open space. So this one, you have to be very careful because there is no reverse sensor from the drone, so the drone will not be able to avoid anything behind it. So it's really depending on you how you will pilot it, because it's, it's just really depending on you. So you have to definitely, if you want to do this, you definitely have to make sure that you're in an open space, safe space, and don't take it for granted lah. So there you go, it's tracking me very, very well.
Okay, so I don't know if you can hear me right now, but the HoverAir X1 Drone function that actually can filter out the wind noise from the propeller, and I'm actually recording the voice directly to the drone, but not directly to the drone, actually directly to the phone, which is synced to the drone, which is pretty cool. And right now, I don't know if you can see, the drone is actually flowing left and right because it's pretty windy right now. It's probably at about what, 5 or 8 km/h wind. Not the windiest, but there is some breeze. I can see the drone flying around now. So this is a HoverAir X1 drone, and I think it's one of the most pocketable drone that I've ever seen. And the best thing about this drone is I do not need to use my phone. And to control the drone, which is perfect for Instagrammers, cyclists, this and that. And I can still record voice as well, which is connected to my phone. Right now, the voice is recorded from the phone to the drone. And when I download the file from the drone to the phone, there's one file, which is perfect. Technology that filters out the propeller sound from it, so you can actually hear my voice clearly. Drone is chasing after me. Whoop.
Okay, not too sure why the mic stopped recording from the phone. I do not know why, but so now I'm recording from my wireless mic, and now I'm going to show you that I want to test the obstacle avoidance from the front camera. I want to try to walk under this tree and see whether the camera knows how to avoid the branches. And tap, nope, it will auto soft land.
It did not avoid the branches here. Let me show you the branches right now. You see these low hanging branches here? Yeah, so the drone did not avoid it with the front camera. Probably is looking at me and didn't see the small obstacle. But when you're using this drone, you might just need to be extra careful, because if you ask me about the obstacle avoidance feature of this drone, I don't think there is really that strong capability for it. But again, for the size of this drone, I am not complaining, man. This is probably the best drone I've ever have. Okay, I'm going to walk from here to the end there. Wait, let me try to just align the camera to make sure I'm walking the right direction. So I'm going to just walk and walk and walk. It's getting a bit more windier here. And there you go. Whoops. So one thing about this drone as well, it's using the sensor from the down camera to detect its height. So if you walk, do not fly this over water, because it will not be able to know what height it is. Overall, I tell you, this drone is so cool. Think about the drone, put on the comments below, what do you think about this drone? Tell me, would you actually buy this drone? And also let me know what you wish was a wish list on this drone. Okay, thank you guys. I guess that's about it. Hope you enjoy this video. If you like it, share, like, subscribe, click on the bell notification. That helps me so much to continue to create content for you, because all this takes time, effort, and of course money. And if you like this, let me know what else you want to see me to review, and hopefully you just message me and I'll try to contact the manufacturers to send me so I can do a test for you and to let you know whether is it something that you can consider to get or not. And again, wherever I have spoken to you about this drone, it's not scripted. That's all, folks. Goodbye, God bless, and take care.